Hey, my people, my family, what's going on? So I just want to jump on here right quick. Help somebody out. I can't say this is more for more. I can't say this is for more than one person, but right now I'm feeling real strongly that it's one person in particular that's dealing with something, and you're dealing with it alone, and you've been having I don't want to use the word, the S word. You've been having self destructive thoughts, right? Um, this could be that you were diagnosed with a permanent STD or STI, right? Or this could be a sickness like cancer or diabetes, or they're all diseases, period, right? Okay. Um, just there's a stigma around dang near everything, right? To be totally honest, there's a stigma around everything. 111 on my timer, right? Um, just like I told you guys about me being HIV positive, right? Undetectable for since I was in my early 20s, I believe. Um, and the person that I told you guys the story about who purposely gave it to me, right? Um, at that time, when that happened, I thought my life was over. You know, I was literally planning to jump in front of a train. Literally, it was nothing that was going to stop me from doing so. I swear to you. Okay, that's what I was going to do, right? And then I believe I already told you guys the story before, but I'm just taking a snippet from it. But the Holy Spirit's voice told me, right? But before I was going to do this, told me to stop here first. Go to my cousin. Stop here first. And me stopping there, right, at her house and letting her know what happened and her being there for me, right, and my family at the time over there, my cousins and stuff, being there for me, not treating me any differently, right, to on my timer, that saved my life. It saved my life. Now, granted, I'm sure God would have used something else to save my life if that didn't work, right? But that is what saved my life. And yeah, that's the first thing that saved my life. The second thing, right, was me being more informed about it, right? Because my ignorance about it made me feel like life was over. My ignorance about it made me feel like I could never have kids. My ignorance about it made me feel like who's ever gonna love me? Who's ever gonna want to be with me for the rest of my life? Like, right? Uh, and that was my ignorance coupled with fear speaking. Hold on. Sorry, y'all, watching Harriet. But that was my ignorance coupled with fear, right? Ignorance coupled with fear can be destructive. Destructive, beloved, right? And there were some people that I met, right? After that, I didn't date. I didn't date. I didn't have sex for like almost 2 years. Almost 2 years, right? If anything, right? The benefits of this happening, right? One of them would be my health has been grade A, top notch since then, right? Because it has to be. You know what I'm saying? I've taken care of myself from that point on way better than I ever have in my life. Way better than I ever have in my life, right? And that's why I've always had like a perfect bill of health, right? I had one before that, right? But I was a lot more reckless in what I ate, reckless in what I partook in, and you know what I'm saying. And it's not the that the HIV contraction came from recklessness. No, I was with one person that purposely did that to me. A narcissistic, dangerous person, right? A person, a mentally unstable person, a toxic person, right? not just a narcissist, but a toxic person will see something they want and they will do whatever they have to do to get it, even going to the lengths of trapping it. You get what I'm saying? And that's what this person did to me, right? Played on my naivety, however you say that. Played on the fact that I was way younger than them, right? And they used that to their advantage, you know? And so, that's that. But anyway, I digress. The point was for me to bring some type of comfort to you, whoever you are, right? I don't know what it is that you've became diagnosed with, right? I don't know if it's whatever it is. It's something that it'll be with you for the rest of your life, right? So if let's say it's HSV1, right, or two, which is herpes, right? Let's say it's that, right? There are stigmas about that, right? It's because people are ignorant to it, right? The more people are informed, right, correctly informed, then your mind frame starts to change about it, right? You hear herpes and you visually see, oh, filth, disgust, 100 sexual partners. You see what I'm saying? And that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Just like with HIV, it doesn't mean that you were out here reckless. It doesn't mean that you were out here sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It does not mean that. It does not mean that, right? So it's whatever it is for. Oh, well, that's where I was at. Okay, so HSV1, 2, right, which is called herpes, right? People are so unknowledgeable that they don't even know that 90% of the US population has HSV1 already. Do you know how? Chickenpox. Chickenpox. Every person that's ever had chickenpox as a child has HSV1 in their system, in their body. You see how contagious chickenpox are, right? Remember when our grandparents used to put the socks over our hands and stuff and give us a bath in, what was it? I forgot what it was. I was about to say tomato paste. That's for a skunk, I believe. But whatever it is, chickenpox were very contagious, right? Which is why you had to be like quarantined. You know what I'm saying? That is the herpes virus. Plain and simple, right? And 90%, what was it, 60? No, 70 to 90% of the United States has this in their body. It's just lying dormant. Period. Right? So that example is a part of the ignorance that people don't realize, you know, is. You know what I'm saying? So, and it doesn't have to be that. I'm just using that as an example, right? It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, beloved, and I know you might not want to hear this right now because I'm sure whoever I'm talking to, you just found this out no longer than 3 weeks ago, no longer than a month. Okay, so you're still dealing with the fact that you haven't probably told anyone yet, right? What people will think, right? How they will treat you differently. Um, how they'll look at you and assume and make assumptions, right? And people will make assumptions first and they'll stick with those assumptions. They won't ask, they won't look for the truth. They'll assume, hey, this is how this happened, and then they'll start gossiping about it, which is not true and which is pretty messed up, right? But you reap what you sow, right? I don't know how that works in ignorance, But I'm pretty sure it works the same way, you know? Um, Even if you're ignorant to something and you do it, you're still going to reap, right? There comes a learned lesson. But whatever it is that you're dealing with, beloved, it's not a death sentence to anything in your life. It's not. It's not, right? If anything, think of it as a meter, right? Whatever it may be. Think of it as a meter, right? That allows you to be in your greatest bill of health that you've ever been in, right? Because if you slack on your health, right, then whatever said issue it is can take a toll on you, right? So it makes it so that you keep up with your mental health, your physical health, right? Your spiritual health. It makes sure that you do these things, right? Because if not, or if you get to slacking on them, right, and basically treating yourself badly, right, this said virus or this said sickness or whatever will remind you that it's there. You get what I'm saying? When you're taking care of yourself and you are doing everything possible to be healthy, right? Then whatever it is, most things, right? Whatever that thing is, it'll lie dormant, right? It'll be quiet. It'll have a muzzle on, right? It'll have a muzzle on it, right? And protection around it to either stop the, you know, you got medicines and all that too, but to either, basically what you want to do is suffocate whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever ailment you're dealing with that's permanent. You want to suffocate it, right? Suffocate it. Don't give it any room to manifest, right? Don't give it any room to manifest, right? Um, and I'm picturing right now like the white blood cells holding whatever said virus it is hostage, right? That's what the picture I'm getting in my mind right now. It's like your white blood cells will be holding this disease or this sickness hostage, right? It has nowhere to go. It has to stay right where it's at in this jail cell, right? Inside your body, but in this jail cell. It has to stay right here, can't go nowhere. Why? Because you're taking care of yourself, because you're doing everything you need to do to make sure that you're taken care of, right? So that virus, that sickness has nowhere to expound to, right? It has nowhere to go. It can't go anywhere. It's being guarded by your white blood cells. It's being safeguarded, right? When you don't take care of yourself, right? You may have a injury in another part of the body. One of those white blood cells or two of those white blood cells guarding this sickness, they have to go attend to this one, right? Even though you have trillions of white, or however many of white blood cells, right? You get the gist of what I'm saying. This white blood cell has to go over here and assist with whatever it is over here, right? Now you haven't been eating the right food, so your stomach is having issues. So now these ones have to go to your stomach to try to repair and rebuild whatever's going on down there. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? The more informed you are about whatever it is, right? The more informed you are, and I'm talking about facts, not assumptions, not what people think. I'm talking about grade A facts, truth, right? They make your life easier. They take the stress that you had before off of you. Why? Because you understand this thing in the correct way that it's supposed to be understood. Right? And in understanding that, you understand that, hey, I can have a family. Hey, I can have a healthy family, right? I can have a healthy partner, right? That's protected as well. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, right? I can have everything else that everyone else in the world is afforded to have, right? So long as I take care of me, right? Take care of anything that has to do with me. You get what I'm saying? Right? Information is power. Right? Information is power. Okay? And the more information that you know, accurate information you know, right? The more at ease you can be. Because you're not freaked out by what you thought it was. Now you know what it is. So you can breathe easier. You get what I'm saying? Am I making sense to you, beloved? So whoever I'm speaking to and whatever it is that you're dealing with, beloved, know that you're not alone. Right? Know that you're not alone. Right? Do you know most of the people that you watch on YouTube, on Facebook, or wherever, they're dealing with something of that caliber? Something. Right? Most of them might not tell the public. They might not tell, because we know how the world is. We know how people are or can be. Right? So that's understandable, right? But more times than not, you won't get anyone to come and tell you like, hey, I deal with this too, unless they hear it from you first. Right? I'm pretty sure, let's say if you made a channel to help other people deal with whatever you're dealing with, right? That you might not think that might not have any takers, right? You might not have any people that are dealing with what you're dealing with, but you will be shocked and surprised to find out, beloved, that there are so many people dealing with the same exact things as you. They just don't say anything to anybody, right? And that's a type of miserable existence, right? Because I don't want to say miserable, it's a type of heavy existence, right? Because it's better if you have someone you can talk to. It's better if you have someone that you can concur with you, somebody that can have that has empathy for you in your situation. You know what I'm saying? And especially if it's somebody that's dealing with the same thing you are, right? Or something similar or something different, right? I've seen people across platforms dealing with one thing, encouraging other people that were dealing with something else, you know, because they were knowledgeable about it, because a family member may have had this, or a mom or a cousin may have dealt with that, right? So, you know, like I said before, when dealing with the example I gave, HSV1 or HSV2, which is quote unquote called herpes, right? 90% of the population has this in its of the United States has this already in their body, right? This is why they don't test for it with STI testing, right? If you go to a clinic to get tested for STIs, 1818 on timer, more times than not, they won't have the HSV test on there. You know why? Because it's common and dang near everyone. Why do you think you have to ask for the test? Because it's common in almost everyone, right? So just be encouraged, beloved, right? I don't know who you are, right? Be encouraged. I feel like you're a male. You could be a female, but I'm feeling like you're a male. You live alone, or you are alone. Be encouraged, right? Be encouraged. I know you might not even hear me right now, right? But come back and watch the video tomorrow, next week, right? Because you will feel better, right? You will feel better. It's not the end of anything, right? Whatever you're dealing with, it's not the end of anything. It's not, right? And this is specific to the bracket in which I'm speaking, right? Because it can be some level 4 type, you know, something that is really. I'll just leave that where it's at. I'm trying to keep the encouragement up, okay? But whoever I'm talking to, this is not a serious thing. This is not a thing unto death, okay? That makes it a lot more sense than what I was just trying to say. But so whoever I'm talking to, whatever you're dealing with is not unto death. Okay? It's not unto death. Um, you will be able to have children. You'll be able to have a wife or a husband. You'll be able to have whatever you had dreamed to have before. You can still have that now. 2020 on the time. All right? All right? And if you're worrying about who's going to love you, who's going to want to be with you, God has somebody for you. When you're ready for that person, you're ready for each other, they'll be presented to each other. And who knows, that person might deal with the same thing that you deal with. I've met a few people, I've been in a few relationships with people that I never would have thought dealt with HIV, and they did. Right? And I didn't know until I disclosed my status, but as long as people know they're safe, right, and they are cared for, and there's nothing that you can't do, right? There's no happiness that you can't reach, right? So I hope this encouraged you. Okay, whoever you are. I wish I knew your name. I wouldn't say it or nothing, but I wish I knew your name so I could, talk to you directly, right? But you're all right. You're all right. You are. You're okay. And don't let anybody, you're going to have ignorant people talk crazy to you. You're going to have ignorant, stupid people. I'm sorry. This is correct time to use the term stupid, okay? You're going to have stupid or ignorant, excuse me. You're going to have ignorant people that treat you badly. You're going to have ignorant people that make assumptions about you, right? But that's how the world is anyway, right? Right? So don't let anything get you down, right? And if you are down for a little bit, get back up. Get back up, all right? Because it's not over. 22 on the timer, all right? I love you, beloved, whoever you are, all right? You are loved. You are loved. You're not the only one out here dealing with something, right? So, email in the description box. Y'all know where I'm at. If y'all need to hit me, if y'all want to donate to the Cash App, it's Levite, $Levite 12 Tribes. I'll put it in the comment description box, and I'll holler at y'all later.